Well, hello dear students. You're so welcome to today's lesson. It's my belief that you are all fine and of good health. It's my pleasure that we meet again to have a lesson. Today we are going to learn a third topic in Form 4, that is using appropriate language, context and style. And we are going to see how to use the words hardly, in spite and despite. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it, shall we? Well, despite means even though or regardless of. It is the opposite of because of or due to. And despite can be used with a noun or a gerund. She has difficulty communicating in English despite her many years of study. So this means that this lady or whoever we are talking about has studied English for a long time, but still she's not fluent. She cannot communicate. So despite her many years of study, still she cannot communicate in English. Another example where we can use despite is in the following sentence. We lost the game despite the fact that we practiced every day. So we practiced every day, still we lost the game. So this means that despite shows that we lost the game even though we had a practice every day. And the last example of a sentence that uses despite is in the following sentence. Despite not having an umbrella, I walked home in the rain. So despite having an umbrella, so it means that I did not have an umbrella and it was raining and I walked home. Now dear students, can you make any sentences using the expression despite? Okay, now you go to the quiz session and you construct two sentences using the word despite and using the word despite that. These questions will be marked automatically. You will get to see if you have constructed a correct sentence or a wrong sentence. So now dear students, using in spite of. In spite of means exactly the same thing as despite. And they are used exactly the same way. Only that in spite carries of. So you cannot say in spite the fact, but you say in spite of the fact that. And you cannot say despite of. You say despite the fact. So examples of the sentences where we can use in spite of the fact is exactly in the same sentences that you use despite. For example, in the first sentence we said that she has difficulty communicating in English despite her many years of study. Now using in spite of, we can say she has difficulty communicating in English in spite of her many years of study. So this exactly means that she has been studying English for a long time, but still she cannot communicate in English. So in spite has been used exactly the same place where despite was used. When we use in spite of, we only get rid of despite. The second sentence was we lost the game despite the fact we had a practice every day. Or we lost the game despite the fact we practiced every day. So if we want to use in spite of in this sentence, it will be like we lost the game in spite of the fact that we practiced every day. So the meaning here still remains the same, only the change of despite and in spite of. And the very last example is despite not having an umbrella, I walked home in the rain. So this sentence is using despite. We can easily change it from despite to use in spite, and this is how it will sound. In spite of not having an umbrella, I walked home in the rain. So the two sentences similarly mean the same thing, that I did not have the umbrella and it was raining, but I still managed to go home in the rain. So despite not having an umbrella, I walked home in the rain. That is using despite. And then using in spite is in spite of not having an umbrella, I walked home in the rain. Can you see the difference? Now dear students, let me give you a hint before I sum up this lesson. Despite is synonymous to in spite. The word synonymous here means that words that can be used interchangeably. You can use despite, you can use in spite of the fact. The only difference is that despite is much more formal. So when you are in a formal setting, you are more likely to use despite. Whereas while you are in a casual setting, you may use in spite of. So when you are doing formal writing, I suggest that you use despite. But when you're in a casual conversation with friends, maybe family, you can just use in spite of. But don't say something like despite of. No. Or don't say in spite of the fact. In fact, despite may carry that, and in spite always carries of. Dear students, and the last part today on the use of appropriate language, context and style is hardly. When you want to say something that certainly happens, you use the expression hardly. So hardly means that something merely happens. It never happens. It never occurs. That's why you use the expression hardly. So in a following sentence, we have a situation whereby something never happens and we are doomed to use the expression hardly. For example, if you never go swimming, you cannot swim, and maybe you dislike swimming, you may construct a sentence like this one: I hardly go swimming. So when you say I hardly go swimming, it really means that you never go swimming. Another example is like in a sentence like this one: I hardly play football. This means that you do not play football. If you say she never plays netball, she never plays football, or maybe he never plays football, this means that he does not do this sport. So you can change never to hardly. So dear students, today's lesson was on the proper usage of language in context and style. And we were looking on two words that are synonymous: despite and in spite of. So after this video, go to the quiz section page and there are questions there. Answer the questions and let's see if you have understood this concept of using appropriate language, context and style. And be sure not to miss the live streaming on Fridays at exactly 4 p.m. You log in to my website, that is www.comestudywithandy.wordpress.com. Then you click on the live streaming session and surely you will be right on the deck for us to study together. Until next time, please stay safe, be good students, do your homework. Ciao, ciao.